Do you feel completely depleted at the end of each day, but in an unsatisfying way? I do, and it's a problem that's moving me further away from living out my values and making progress towards my goals. Often I would be busy with various activities, but in reality I did little that moved the needle towards financial freedom. My use of energy was not aligned to my values and goals. Our energy is our life. When we don't spend our energy wisely on the things that matter, we end up wasting our lives on the things that don't. But what is energy? Energy is the strength, effort, and enthusiasm required for physical or mental activity. I came across this book, The Power of Full Engagement, which introduces the concept of managing energy, not time, to achieve optimal performance. It identifies 4 types of interconnected energies. Physical energy is the foundation of performance, encompassing factors like sleep, nutrition, and exercise. It's about maintaining a healthy body to fuel productivity. Emotional energy. This relates to our emotional state and how it affects our motivation and engagement. Positive emotions enhance performance, while negative ones can hinder it. Mental energy. This is the cognitive capacity to focus, learn, and problem solve. And lastly, spiritual energy. This is the connection to a purpose or meaning beyond oneself. It provides a sense of direction and motivation. To quote the authors of the book, without the right quantity, quality, focus, and force of energy, we are compromised in any activity we undertake. Every one of our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors has an energy consequence for better or for worse. The ultimate measure of our lives is not how much time we spend on the planet, but rather how much energy we invest in the time that we have. Performance, health, and happiness are grounded in the skillful management of energy. The number of hours in the day is fixed, but the quantity and quality of energy available to us is not. When I dug deeper into the problem, I realized that my daily life was filled with so much friction, distractions, and things vying for my attention. Seemingly harmless on the surface, but insidiously zapping energy without my notice. In the rest of this video, I'm gonna share some of these energy zappers and some tips on managing my energy so that I don't end up unsatisfyingly drained at the end of each day. One of my biggest energy zappers is interrupted sleep. It leaves me physically and mentally tired the next day. As a light sleeper, my husband's snoring and shifting of sleep posture could wake me up easily. Because of this, I used to dread bedtime and would get into arguments with him because I was irritable from a lack of sleep. For the sake of my rest and for our marriage, I set up a sleeping area in another room for days when I am unable to sleep well beside my husband. Now I no longer have uninterrupted sleep due to an unconducive sleep environment, and I wake up fresh and energized every day. Another energy zapper is sitting down all day in front of my laptop. My day job is desk-bound, and the lack of movement ironically makes me physically tired and my legs numb. I'll be increasingly unable to concentrate as the day goes by. I turn it around by prioritizing movement and exercise in the morning. It gives me a boost of energy to start my workday. I also began to take short and regular movement breaks throughout the day when I found myself losing focus. The breaks promote blood flow for better thinking and give my eyes a break from the screens as well. A related energy zapper is eating a heavy lunch. It's easy to suffer from a food coma afterwards if I have to sit down to work for the rest of the afternoon. I'll be fighting the urge to sleep and have a tough time getting things done. So I started eating lighter but more frequent meals throughout the day, instead of 3 main meals. I also prioritize nutritious food that gives a healthy source of energy over junk food that weighs me down. Now my meals are replenishing my energy instead of taking energy away from me. Bad emotions sap energy and affect our performance. I've realized that negativity is a huge contributor to bad emotions. This can include dwelling on negative events, being around negative people, and having limiting ways of thinking that generate fear, stress, or anxiety. Here's what I've tried to do to keep bad emotions at bay, neutralize them, and foster positive emotions. Journaling. Whenever I find myself ruminating over negative events that happened or catastrophizing things, it helps to relieve the emotional load by dumping it down on paper. Seeing it in words helps me to spot and reframe limiting patterns of thinking and pick out lessons from an experience. I've learned to let go of negative petty stuff that wouldn't matter or I'm likely to forget a few days from now. I've also learned to change the story I tell myself whenever I dread or fear an upcoming event, like a big presentation to senior management. Instead of viewing it as a threat, I told myself it's an opportunity to hone my presentation skills. So what if I do end up having some flops? It'll be a learning experience and I'll try better the next time. Journaling has helped me to release draining negative emotions, try to make sense of them, and reframe my thinking from limiting to empowering. Removing myself from negative situations. When people around me complain or recount their negative experiences, I pick up the negative energy from them and their stories. Sometimes this could be too much to handle, especially on days when I've had my fair share of negative emotions. And sometimes hearing them complain over and over is starting to affect my mindset. Since realizing the effect of others' negativity on me, I intentionally remove myself from negative situations. When I cannot help but overhear other people's conversations complaining about their jobs on the train, I move away to another part of the train carriage before I get emotionally weighed down by their negativity. If it's someone that I cannot avoid completely, like a co-worker, I limit the time spent with them outside of the project. Practicing self-compassion. Very often, I tend to set unrealistic goals and a demanding schedule for myself. Whenever I fail to meet my goals on schedule and I'm not making sufficient progress on my financial freedom journey, I become overwhelmed and frustrated. These emotions are counterproductive and further affect my performance. Over the years, I've learned to practice self-compassion because I'm only human and there's only so much I can do within a day. I remind myself to set realistic goals and a schedule that incorporates sufficient rest and recovery in between for long-term sustainability. This allows me to meet most of my goals on schedule, giving me a sense of progress, which is important for staying motivated. One of my mental energy zappers is making multiple decisions every day, including small decisions like what to wear, what to eat, when should I do this or that. It could easily lead to decision fatigue. To conserve my mental energy, I eliminated the need to make small decisions throughout the day. I streamlined my clothing style so there's no standing in front of my wardrobe for 10 minutes figuring out what to wear. For work or going out, it's always a black colored top with pants or a dress for special occasions. For sleeping, working out, or lounging at home, it's always workout clothes. I also streamlined my grocery shopping to the same basic items every week. There is no shopping around the supermarket and analyzing the different choices. I go during off-peak hours and get it done in under 10 minutes. I eat pretty much the same type of food while I'm at home and go for variety and fun when eating out. Lastly, I plan a schedule for my day beforehand. There is no deliberating what I should do at a certain time. I go straight to getting the task done instead. Streamlining these little areas of my life has saved me a lot of mental energy as well as time. Distractions. They are another mental energy zapper. A ping from my phone, an email notification on my laptop, an incoming call. Excluding the time that my attention was taken away by these interruptions, a 30-minute task could take twice as long because I need time to reorientate myself to the task before I can get back to my original momentum. More mental energy is needed to complete a task, especially a complex one, because of the context switch that arises with each interruption unrelated to the task. To regain control of my attention, I set out time blocks of 90 to 120 minutes for work that requires deep concentration, during which I set my laptop to Do Not Disturb mode and leave my phone in another room. For emails and messages, I designate specific times within my day to check and respond to them. Setting up my day like this has reduced the fragmentation in my attention and made the use of my mental energy more efficient overall. Noisy environments, like during peak hour travel on the train, being in crowded places, and working in an open-plan office, deplete me mentally. When working on a cognitive task, noise disrupts cognitive processes, makes concentration difficult, and increases mental load and fatigue. Exposure to noise, even when I'm not engaged in cognitive tasks, depletes my energy levels as well. I find myself unable to take on any energy-demanding task after a day out in crowded places. One item that has made my world a lot quieter is noise-canceling earphones. They greatly reduce unwanted noise that hits my ears, helping me conserve my energy on public transportation or in crowded places. They also reduce voices to a muted murmur, helping me to concentrate when I have to work in an open-plan office. They are a purchase I've never regretted. Juggling multiple commitments is another mental energy zapper. It makes me less effective at everything because my attention is scattered. When I came across the concept of wildly important goals from the book, The 4 Disciplines of Execution, I started to look at goals differently. Instead of trying to accomplish many goals at a time, focus on the few highly important goals that, if not achieved, would make other achievements seem inconsequential. So I reflected and prioritized. I put some pursuits on hold and focused my mental energy on the wildly important goals in this season of my life. Learning a new language and living in a new country is one of my goals, but it's not practically feasible until I reach a certain level of financial freedom. So language learning is on the shelf for now while I focus on leveling up my earning capacity to reach that freedom. I am focusing on less, but I am accomplishing more of what's important now. Whenever I go without working on anything fulfilling for a period of time, I would feel a growing sense of emptiness. Especially during periods when deadlines and demands at my day job are mounting, and I have neither the time nor energy to work on fulfilling activities after. I would begin to feel like I'm losing my sense of purpose and, quite literally, my soul. To counteract this, here are some ways I've incorporated fulfilling work into my life, even while holding a day job. Working on personal projects before I start my day job. I started waking up earlier and spending at least 1 hour working on them. This has been such a powerful shift as it allows me to take care of my spiritual needs before I take care of other people's needs at my day job. My highest energy level is in the morning, and knowing that I have given my best energy towards work that is nourishing for my soul puts me in a better mood afterwards when I go to my day job. Protecting my time and energy after work hours. I ensure that I focus intensely and complete the tasks at my day job on time. Outside of my day job, I am mindful of not letting my mind drift towards it. This can be difficult when the workload is high and there are tasks pending my action the next working day. One method I learned from the book Deep Work by Cal Newport is to have a shutdown ritual. This ritual should ensure that every incomplete task, goal, or project has been reviewed, and that for each, you have confirmed that either you have a plan you trust for its completion, or it's captured in a place where it will be revisited when the time is right. Using this ritual, my mind is less likely to drift back to the tasks after hours, and this frees up cognitive resources for other pursuits. This mentality and approach for protecting my time and energy allowed me to focus on fulfilling activities and get sufficient rest and play outside of my day job. I hope this video has made you more aware and mindful of the energy zappers in your life and given you some ideas on how to better manage your energy. I am keen to know what you personally do for good energy management as well down in the comments. Remember that our energy is our life. When we don't spend our energy wisely on the things that matter, we end up wasting our lives on the things that don't. If you enjoyed this video, you might also like this one on atomic habits.